Hey there, champs. Everything in the boxing world always comes to light. And now we know what's gonna happen with Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and Ryan Garcia. The trio. All we need is Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson in the mix. But this is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna go down. Okay, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney are gonna fight, but they're gonna have to fight fighters before they even get a rematch. Devin Haney is gonna fight Jose Ramirez, and Ryan Garcia is gonna fight Pitbull Cruz. Now, the only one that did not mention who they're gonna fight is Teofimo Lopez. Now, this is the hurt business, and you do not have to have a lot of power to knock out your opponent, just as Jaime Munguia. He got knocked out by a fighter that only had 6 knockouts. That's not a lot of power in boxing. But anything can happen in boxing. One punch could change the whole fight. So just because Jose Ramirez has 2 losses, that does not mean he cannot beat Devin Haney. Or Pitbull Cruz can probably beat Ryan Garcia. But we just gonna have to wait and see. Boxing is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Now, I know everybody wants the top names to fight the top names, but say Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney get defeated, wouldn't that make their opponents a bigger name? I just want to see the best fight the best. And just because they're big names, that does not mean that the other fighters are not any good. They just have to beat these top level fighters to be a big name. To be the best, you gotta beat the best. I also do understand there's rematches, and if you change your game plan, the outcome could be different. I know some fighters have off nights, their day wasn't good, or something happened to their family and they're just thinking about that, but they took the fight anyways because they're warriors. I get that part, but sometimes your opponent has your number, and no matter how much you train, how much you change your game plan, the outcome could be the same. But I also do know a lot of these fighters have high pride, and they think they're the toughest, but I mean, they're always saying that they don't take no tune-ups. But that's BS. Devin Haney against Jose Ramirez, that's a tune-up, especially because Jose Ramirez is on the tail end of his career. So that is a tune-up. The toughest fight is going to be Ryan Garcia versus Pitbull Cruz. And I want to see who Teofimo Lopez is going to fight. I believe when you actually reach your peak, or not your peak, but when you're already one of the biggest names in boxing, you really only fight twice a year, maybe 3 times, but that's a stretch. I know Canelo only fights twice a year, and Ryan Garcia was actually fighting the most from all the young talent, which I really applaud him. He's a really good fighter, and he needs to get his flowers too. So as we all know, the Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia fight took place at 140 pounds, but Ryan Garcia came in at 144 and Devin Haney came in at 140. So I believe that was one of the reasons that the fight took place like that, and it played out like that. But at 147, if they both come in at 147, I think it's more of a 50-50 fight, because Devin Haney did deplete himself to 140 and Ryan Garcia came in at 144. And even at that, I had Devin Haney winning some rounds, even though he got knocked out a bunch of times. That was the most knockdowns I ever seen a top level fighter have. Well, no, you know what? Smoking Joe Frazier got knocked down a bunch of times against George Foreman. But yes, right now, I believe that Devin Haney got knocked down a lot of times. But I think that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney was supposed to be a really good fight. But Ryan Garcia did not come out professionally. So I do expect Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia to beat their opponents. I expect Devin Haney to beat Jose Ramirez, and I also expect Ryan Garcia to beat Pitbull Cruz, maybe even knocking out Pitbull Cruz. But Pitbull Cruz is a very tricky fighter, and this fight is gonna be taking place at 147, which I really think Pitbull Cruz caps out at 140. So I still think that Ryan Garcia is gonna knock out Pitbull Cruz, and they're all gonna be fighting at 147. So the winner between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia is gonna fight Teofimo Lopez at 147. I'm interested to see who Teofimo Lopez is gonna fight, because these fights take a long time to make, and there's months in between. So I am pretty sure that Teofimo Lopez is not gonna be in the shelves for that long. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be fighting somebody as well, because Teofimo Lopez don't dug no smoke. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of these boxers' careers are manufactured, but since Mr. Turkey Al-Sheikh came into the boxing world, he actually put the best against the best. And when that happens, you could expect upsets. So anybody can lose when you fight the best. And that doesn't mean that Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, and Devin Haney are going to beat their opponents. But I expect them to, because they're at a higher level. I believe that. But guess what, guys? I ain't the biggest, I'm the baddest. And if you want to hop on your boy, throw $1 at the super things. I got to roll. Peace.
The champ is here.